Crypto exchanges are everywhere, and most traders don't second guess it because they don't really care. But that is because they don't know the importance of it and how much money they're potentially losing from just trading on the wrong exchange. Now, I understand how important it is, and so in this video, I'm going to give you an entire guide on one of my favorite exchanges where I hold a lot of capital. So this is WEEX, and this is exactly what it's going to look like once you've signed up using the link down below. Okay, right now, you can immediately join and earn up to $30,000 in rewards. And that's the first thing about WEEX, okay? They are known for their ridiculous reward system, and it's just one of the ways that they like to grow. And a lot of people don't know about this, and so they don't take advantage of it. But again, they nearly always give away $30,000 for free. Right now, they have some sort of event with La Liga where you can sign up. In fact, let's just click it right here. You can choose a team, earn points, and then win rewards based on the points that you earn. So again, these are quite insane rewards. If we go down here, you can see that with 3 million points, well, then you can win 0.5 Bitcoin. Okay, at the time of this recording, that is about $40,000. They also have smaller ones, 4,000 points equals 50 USDT, but again, we're talking $50 for free essentially. But that is not what I want to talk about. Okay, let's talk about the entire exchange as a whole. So first off, what is their fee structure? So here's what's crazy about WEEX. They have a 0% maker fee on spot trades, which means you can, trade spot entirely for free. There's absolutely no fees involved on your end. They have incredibly low futures fees, okay, which is incredibly important for any trader who is trying to find an exchange to trade on. So they start at 0.02% for makers and 0.08% for takers. That is literally some of the lowest in the entire industry. If we compare it to something like Binance, which again is the most popular crypto exchange, well, then you can see a night and day difference. So for the spot trading fees, they are at 0.1%, which again, against WEEX, they have no fees at all. So again, there's just a massive difference. Now the futures fees, right? That's 0.02% for maker and 0.05% for taker. So the futures fees on Binance is just slightly higher than WEEX. But again, the fact that you pay no fees on your spot trades on WEEX is just unmatched. Now, something else that's incredibly cool with WEEX is this option right here, which is P2P trading. That means 200 plus local payment methods at the best rates, okay? And P2P trading is pretty simple. So instead of buying crypto from an exchange itself, you now instead buy crypto from a person that is already on that specific exchange. And WEEX offers 0% fees for P2P trading. So right here, we have all the different advertisers, right? And we can see down here exactly what it means. So first, we select an offer. Step 2, we pay the seller. Okay, so we send the money to the seller via the suggested payment methods. And again, WEEX will not charge any fees. And step number 3 is again, you receiving your actual crypto. Now, the reason why somebody would use P2P trading is, for example, to buy crypto with local payment methods. So WEEX might not accept all currencies, right? Your local currency might not be accepted on WEEX, but there might be a seller out there who is in fact looking to trade your currency for his crypto. This is super common in the crypto world. In fact, normally you would meet up with somebody in person, give them cash, and they would transfer the crypto to your account. But again, WEEX saw the demand, they saw the gap, and they filled it in. So again, WEEX offers P2P. So if that's of any interest, well, then again, you can find it on WEEX. You can also, of course, do this normally. In fact, you can do with Apple Pay here. So it has literally never been easier to buy crypto. You again just select your cryptocurrency, you select your payment method, and there you go. You now have your cryptocurrency. So if you're a person that struggles to remember or you just don't want to deal with all the transactions, well, then again, you can simply DCA your way down on Bitcoin just using Apple Pay. Now, WEEX offers a wide variety of different markets here. So we have 67 pages worth of crypto markets. Now, WEEX offers a wide variety of markets. So again, we have futures. We even have TradFi, where again, we can trade things like Apple, right? Tesla, Amazon, Oracle. So we can even trade TradFi. We can trade stocks on WEEX, which is just a whole nother game here. Again, they have spot options, they have alerts, they have listings, they have pretty much everything that you would need within markets, within an exchange. And I want to just quickly show you their actual layout. So again, much like a lot of other crypto platforms, in my opinion, a lot of them look the exact same. But this is the interface once you're actually charting on WEEX. And as you guys can see, I actively chart on WEEX often because, again, this is where I actually place my trades. So you have two options here. You can use basic, which is their version. So this is exactly what it looks like. Or you can just switch to TradingView, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. So again, I'm using TradingView myself, where we can actually use the toolbar, right? So we can draw on the screen. We can use our P&L tool here. We can use text. Again, we can pretty much do exactly what we can on TradingView. Down here at the bottom, you can see your actual position. So again, I'm right now in a Bitcoin long, and I have been in this long for multiple months now. Finally turned green, and I can see absolutely everything. What is my realized P&L? As you guys can see, I've already closed $6.6 thousand, and so that is my realized P&L. I can see my account ROI for this position. That is a lot. I can click close, flash close, reverse. And again, this is actually quite important. So what WEEX does here is super cool. Now, normally, if you wanted to take partials in crypto, you had to sit there and calculate how much you had to take off in order to hit a certain percentage. But for WEEX, they have made it incredibly simple. So if I now click here, you can see 25, 50, 75, or 100%. So if I now, for example, select 25% and then I hit flash close, well, then it immediately takes off 25% of my current position. So I don't have to sit here and do any math myself. And again, if you click 100% and then click flash close, well, then 100% of the position closes and you're essentially out. If you click reverse, however, well, then it essentially stops your current position and then it immediately goes short with however much you were long with. So for me, that is 14.7 Bitcoin. If I now hit reverse here, well, then again, it will go short with 14.7 Bitcoin. And if we now hover up here to the top where it says futures and we hit copy trade, well, then you'll find a very unique option here. So they actually have a built-in copy trader where you can essentially review other traders and then choose whether you want to copy their trades or not. So we have Mr. Good, for example. He has an ROI of 196%. So if we now click on his profile, well, then we'll be able to see a deep dive into his actual strategy, his wins, his losses, and everything in between. So if we take a look at his history, right, you can actually see how crazy this is. So he's taken a bunch of winners here. In fact, I don't think he has taken a single losing trade. Oh, here's one. So out of his entire history, right, he has taken a single losing trade with a negative 81% ROI. So again, this might be a guy who's worth following, and they have made it incredibly simple. So if I now click copy here, well, then of course you have to agree to certain things, but we will essentially copy exactly whatever this guy is doing, but we can also adjust it to our own liking. So for example, right, we can choose how much we are willing to bet on this guy and how much we're willing to attach to each and every trade that he places. And as you guys can see, the minimum transfer here is 50 USDT. Now down here, we have something called copy mode, and we have two options. We can either use unified or individual, and these two do very different things and very important things. So if we, for example, choose unified, which you can see right here, well, then all the trades that we copy from this guy share one singular margin. So if you, for example, copy 5 of this guy's trades with a total of $1,000, and one of your 5 trades start to lose money, well, then the 4 others can actually help support it. Now, the individual mode is the opposite, right? Each and every trade has its individual margin. So every single one of your positions are essentially separated, and this is the option that most beginners, in my opinion, should go with. Now, right here, you can choose your copy amount, okay? So, for example, if every single time you copy a trade from this guy, you want to go in with 100 USDT, well, then again, that's what you put in right here. Now, fixed ratio is essentially copying the trader. So in this case, Mr. Good 1-to-1. So if he risks, let's say 10% of his portfolio on one trade, well, then you will automatically do the same. But you can, of course, adjust it right here. So it goes from 0.01 to 100, 0.01 being very, very conservative and 100 being incredibly aggressive. So for beginners, I would always go with a fixed amount, because if I now put in, say, $15 here, well, then I will essentially attach $15 to each and every trade. Nope. So again, the fixed amount is just the better option for 99% of people, and especially beginners. if I, for example, put in again $15 here, well then whether, no matter what happens, I will always attach $15 to each and every trade that I copy, no more and no less. We can also go into risk management here, where you can adjust your stop loss ratio, your max margin, which again right now it's set to the absolute limit, your slippage tolerance. We can also go into margin and leverage mode. So margin mode, follow the elite trader, which again is Mr. Good in this case, or we can choose to cross, or we can use isolated. Now cross and isolated works the exact same as on any other exchange. So whenever you're trading for yourself, you have cross and you have isolated margin. And again, cross margin, in case you don't know, is where they share a margin. So all of your trades again share a margin, versus isolated, each and every single position has its own margin. Leverage mode, you can again choose to go with a fixed leverage. So that could be 10 on long, 10 on short, even lower or even higher. We can actually go all the way up to 400 here, which again is just way too high in my opinion. We can also do custom leverage, which is essentially where you can adjust the leverage depending on the pair which the elite trader, again, Mr. Good, is actively trading. So for example, if I'm more confident in his Bitcoin trade, well, then I can increase my leverage on his Bitcoin trades. And if he tends to lose whenever he trades Ethereum, well, then I can, remove all the leverage if I wanted to. So again, for most beginners, I would either go with custom leverage and then just, choose maybe one or two here, or again, go with the follow elite trader setting. So you just copy Mr. Good 1-to-1. So again, this option here is super cool for a lot of people. And it's actually something that beginners can use to learn more about the market itself. Because again, these guys here, if we go out here, right, they are all proven. You can literally see their ROI in real time here. And so instead of just copying these guys blindly, what I highly recommend is that you actively take notes and watch what these guys are doing within the market. And you can filter by a lot here. So we have peak copier PNL, we have peak PNL, we have peak win rate. And again, it's essentially copy trading made easy. You select an elite trader, you set your parameters, which we just went over, and then you essentially start copying these guys in real time. But if we now come all the way up here to the top, we can actually see something called the AI Trading Kit, which according to WEEX is a self-evolving AI for smarter and more precise trading. So let's go ahead and click this. Again, this is a new option that they're offering. So you can activate it here, build for markets, power your strategy with precision trading insights. So you can activate it here on GitHub, and here is what you can do. So for example, you could text it, check my Bitcoin position. If it drops below 65,000, well then close 50% immediately. And the assistant or the AI will do that for you immediately. So if you are on the go, right, and suddenly you hear about some major geopolitical event happening and you want to close your Bitcoin position immediately, instead of having to sit there on your phone trying to log into your WEEX account, you can now just, text your personal assistant and have them close your Bitcoin position. There's an AI for every single trader, essentially bridging the skill gap, turn expert judgment into a repeatable decision playbook. So again, this is super cool. Then of course they have, all the other options, which pretty much any exchange will offer, such as, demo trading, which we're looking at right here. They even have leaderboards, which is actually super cool. So for example, this guy, right, we can't actually see their names, but we can see what's possible. And this can be a source of motivation for a lot of people. So this guy's daily trading volume is just absolutely insane. And right now he is the #1 trader on WEEX. You can see daily, you can see weekly, and you can see monthly. So it consistently updates. Again, right here under spot, you can spot trade all of these different things with, again, 0 fees here on WEEX. We have an earn section. So they have something called auto earn, which is pretty cool. So auto earn is super cool. You can disable it right here. You of course have to enable it. And here is the APRs. So standard, which is what we're looking at here, because I'm not a new user. You can see that 0 to 200 USDT gives me an estimated APR of 10%. 200 to 500,000 USDT gives me an estimated APR of 2%. And again, this is just a great option for a lot of crypto traders, including myself actually, who just has crypto laying around. So instead of you collecting no yield on that, right, you might as well enable auto earning and then just collect your APR. And again, here are the key features. There's an instant activation, as we literally just saw. You can earn hands-free. Again, interest is calculated using the lowest balance from randomly taken daily snapshots, ensuring full flexibility and accurate returns. There are daily returns on this, right? So returns are calculated and automatically credited to your funding account the next day. So again, if you have crypto laying around anyway, well then auto earn here is, a great option. And of course they offer staking much like any other crypto exchange will. So again, you can stake your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your Doge, and all of these things. If you're not using them anyway and you're not actively collecting returns on these, well then why not stake them for, again, steady returns? Now here's where it gets interesting, because if we hover up here to promotions, well then you can essentially see everything that they are giving away pretty much for free. So again, they have the new user reward, which is where you can unlock up to $30,000 by simply being a new user. If you invite a friend, well then you immediately get $60 for free. There's also a bunch of challenges. So for example, there's a spot challenge right now where you can trade to share an airdrop of $30,000. There's a bounty hunt, so a WXT bounty hunting program where you can essentially trade their native token and then earn bounties. So again, here it is, first purchase bonus. Make your first WXT spot trade and earn rewards based on your purchase amount. The rewards will again be distributed in their native token, but again, you can just convert that to USDT later down the line. So for example, if you hold 300 of their native token in your spot account, well then you are automatically participating in some sort of airdrop. They have ecosystems, right? Let's have a look at this right here. So the ongoing ones is again the Bounty Hunter program, which we just looked at. Hot Token Week, you can share up to $60,000. They have Meme Eco Week, where you can also share a prize pool of, again, $60,000. You can also see all the ones that have ended. So again, this is recurring, right? They constantly put out new rewards, new airdrops, and everything in between. And again, if you are a person of influence, well, then you can earn affiliate commission here on WEEX, and they offer some of the highest commission possible. They have their own crypto news, so you don't have to sit there and look at external sites. You can simply just find everything you need within WEEX. They have their own version of Crypto Wikipedia, where you can essentially find all of these different guides for free. So this is, again, super cool for beginners. And there's 547 pages here. So again, there is enough guides for absolutely everything. Now, in terms of deposits, let's have a look at it. So you can do on-chain deposits. So again, just transferring from your Binance wallet to WEEX, for example. You can, again, buy crypto via P2P, meaning you exchange with another person on the platform, or you can buy using your bank card, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Pix, or SEPA. So again, there are plenty of options. Let's check the on-chain options here. So we could, for example, select, let's see, USDT, right? USDC, Bitcoin, Ethereum. We have pretty much everything available here. So there's pretty much no coin that you cannot choose. Again, for most people, the only thing is USDT and USDC. Again, you can have you can earn 10% with just auto earn. So if you have USDT laying around, well then you can earn 10% with that. And something I entirely forgot is actually the WEEX proof of reserves, which is super cool. So you can publicly see how much these guys are holding in, different assets. That's Ethereum, USDT, Bitcoin, and these are the funds that they will use to refund their users if something tragic were to happen. So let's say they saw a major hack event, which has never happened on WEEX, by the way. Well, then they would use these public funds to, again, compensate for the user losses. So again, in their own words, this is fortifying trust and accountability among stakeholders. So ladies and gentlemen, again, that was WEEX for you and all the features which you need to understand. If you want to trade on this exchange alongside me and thousands of other crypto traders, well then again, you can find a link for this in the description down below. I appreciate every single one of you for watching this video, and I sincerely hope to see you in our next one.